2016 was a dark year for social media influencers. The trend of making downright unpleasant and unlikable people into viral stars was at its peak, with characters like Danielle Bregoli and Woah Vicky skyrocketing into fame. Not even the kids were safe, with Lil Tay becoming the most hated child on the internet for a week, before it was revealed that obviously her family were just using her for clout, like she was literally, what, 11? This was also around the same time that Lovely Peaches started to gain traction, so basically what I'm trying to say is it wasn't a great year to be on the internet. It was the year of the questionable influencer, with people latching on to strange, unpleasant, and downright controversial internet personalities. Enter Timmy Thick, the quote, Nicki Minaj loving, blunt smoking, thirst trapping teenager who took the internet by storm with his provocative content. However, 2 years and 40,000 followers later, he would post a tweet that would send shockwaves through Twitter and the internet. Good evening. Timmy Thick was a 24-month sociological study conducted by Harvard University. We are now complete with our study. Thank you for your time. Today, let's look at the tale of Timmy Thick. From his strange rise to fame to his mysterious disappearance and even his controversial reappearance. Before we get into the video, I'd like to give a massive thank you to today's sponsor, Wingfox. If you've watched any of my past videos, you've probably heard of Wingfox. They're an amazing online learning platform where you can take courses in digital painting, animation, special effects, filmmaking, graphic design, and more, all taught by industry experts and veterans. One of their most recent courses is called Cyberpunk Art and Drawing, taught by the incredible Park Jin-kyu. Park has worked as an illustrator for Cyberpunk 2077, League of Legends, and has also worked with Capcom on a Resident Evil project. Also, just look at his art. Need I say more? It's amazing. You'll also learn drawing basics like how to use reference and plan out your composition, as well as more complex skills like how to draw machinery and cyberpunk style accessories and weapons. This course has been taking off like crazy, and if you want to get involved, you can get a huge discount by clicking my affiliate link in the description. If you want to take another course on the website, that's totally fine, and you can use my discount code WFH15. Once again, that's WFH15 for 15% off any course. Thank you so much to Wingfox for sponsoring this video, and now let's get on with the story of Timmy Thick. Timmy Thick began posting to Instagram in 2016 under the handle Timmy the Barbie and quickly gained a following. He would post the usual Instagram content like selfies and outfit pics, but he became infamous for his more risque content, which included photos of himself in revealing clothes or underwear posing or twerking for the camera. This, in combination with his, I guess, unique fashion sense and aesthetic, gained him a lot of attention. Though, like with many controversial figures, a sizable amount of this attention came from people who followed him ironically for the memes or were coming to mock him. This negative attention increased tenfold when a YouTube video was made on him titled Timmy Thick Must Be Stopped. This video was made by a YouTube channel called Love Live Serve, and they certainly make content. Yep, they certainly make content for the platform YouTube. The video is basically just this dude reacting to like 4 images of Timmy and roasting him, I guess? I don't know, 2017 was a weird time. Jokes aside, even though the video is not my thing, it was definitely other people's thing, with the video gaining over 3 million views. Needless to say, this video launched the already semi-popular Timmy Thick into internet stardom and infamy. He was one of those weird online figures where a lot of the attention he was getting was just memes or people making fun of him, but then this weird cult of personality kind of formed and some people were genuinely standing him and hyping him up. However, despite this popularity and being an internet sensation, he did an amazingly good job at keeping his private life, well, private. Most online celebrities broadcast their personal lives to the world, and just by virtue of being an online celebrity, they tend to have very little privacy. Timmy, however, remains mysterious to this day. No one knows his real name, job, and most controversial of all, his age. Timmy looks, well, very young, and with no confirmed date of birth, some people were worried that he was underage. Given the risque nature of the photos he was posting, this was a very valid concern. So things seem to be going well for the meme icon, with his follower count on all his social medias continuing to rise and his army of fans steadily growing. During this time, his accounts were pretty frequently getting banned for raunchy or offensive content, but obviously that didn't stop him and he persevered. That is, until that fateful day on March the 17th in 2018 when Timmy would post this mysterious and baffling tweet before disappearing completely. What was going on? Was Timmy Thick really a Harvard experiment? And where had he gone? I think it's safe to say that the plot thickened. After Timmy's March 17th tweet, Twitter was in shock. They had become accustomed to Timmy as a constant presence both as a meme and as a public figure, and now he was gone without a trace. His fans were baffled, his detractors were even more baffled, and no one knew what to make of it. Well, almost no one. One person claimed to have insider info and knowledge of Timmy's whereabouts. That person was internet personality and podcast host Brandon Wardell, who sent out this tweet just a day later. It shows a picture of a private DM conversation between Timmy Thick and Brandon with the caption, "I've known about Timmy Thick being a Harvard student since last August. He's a head writer at the Harvard Lampoon." I'm pretty sure this tweet, or at least this part of the tweet, was fake. Here's why. A few days after Brandon's tweet, he and his co-host Jack Wagner released an episode of their podcast Yeah But Still, with the episode being titled Professor Timmy Thick. Just over halfway through the podcast, they get onto the topic of Timmy and begin to ponder and theorize about who he is and what he's up to. Brandon and Jack theorize many things, from the theory that he's older than he's letting on in order to gain clout, that he may have some sort of genetic condition in order to have his figure, and that there may be multiple people behind the Timmy Thick account. Brandon never makes any mention of Timmy being a Harvard student or writing for the Lampoon, which you'd think he would bring up if he had some sort of insider knowledge about that. However, I believe that the DM screenshots from August 2017 are legit, as Brandon brings them up on the podcast and provides further information. Brandon and Jack supposedly managed to get Timmy Thick's manager on the podcast for an interview in episode 22, the Timmy Thick interview, but all recordings of it have been deleted and I can't find an upload anywhere. Obviously, because of this, details are extremely murky, but we can still piece together some information about this podcast. In late 2018, popular YouTuber Nexpo uploaded a video solving Timmy Thick's disappearance in 3 minutes or less. Nexpo comes to the conclusion that Timmy was a troll, which we'll come back to later, but what we're interested in is a comment left on this video. "No dude, you got this wrong. Timmy Thick was two people, the guy in the pictures and a social media manager. The two had a falling out, so the manager changed the account password and made the post about Harvard. Wardell's podcast, Yeah But Still, did an interview with the manager which explains everything." This seems to be corroborated by Timmy himself, having made numerous Twitter posts about his manager locking him out of his account and even impersonating him using his old handles. Adding a further layer of mystery is a post that was made in the subreddit r/YeahButStill titled "What Happened to the Timmy Thick Episode? Did you ever find it? I just subscribed to their Patreon and it isn't there." Nah, I think they took it down because the whole Timmy Thick story was kinda sketchy. That's what the Discord said anyways. Which really makes me wonder, what do they mean by sketchy? It had to be pretty bad for Yeah But Still to permanently take the podcast down from all platforms, including their private Patreon. Was Timmy's manager lying about their identity or the situation? Did the drama between Timmy and his manager get too much? Did something happen behind the scenes that caused them to delete all traces of this episode from the internet? Well, without seeing the episode in question, it's really hard to know, but let's lay out all the possible theories and try to figure out which one was most likely. Alright, theory 1. Timmy Thick was actually a Harvard experiment. First of all, Harvard themselves repeatedly stated that they had no connection to Timmy Thick, which is like hilarious because it means that Harvard University had to recognize Timmy Thick in an official capacity. I love the internet. Secondly, experiments have to stick to very strict rules and guidelines in terms of ethics and consent. As a prestigious institution, you can't just post something and use random internet users as test subjects. You need to have controlled test groups and everyone involved in the study needs to give their consent before being involved. Thirdly, why am I even explaining all of that? It obviously wasn't a Harvard experiment. What would they be studying? What information would this give them? How to weaponize thickness? Despite how ridiculous it seems, at the time a large number of people really did believe this, but now we know better and can safely debunk this. Theory 2. Timmy and his manager had a falling out which spiraled into a drama and led to Timmy losing access to his accounts. Despite the fact that this theory seems really specific and random, there's actually a lot of evidence to back this theory up. See, Timmy Thick didn't actually disappear off the face of the internet. He made a comeback in December of 2019 with a YouTube video titled Q&A, I'm back now? The video it's really a sight to behold. He keeps adding this really weird pitch shift effect to his voice.
But sadly, my account got deleted by Instagram.
He inserts all these uncomfortably long pauses where he like pulls faces for the camera, and no joke, after he does this intro, he just starts twerking. So aside from his colorful editing choices, this video actually has a lot of stuff to unpack. He answers a bunch of questions using a lot of AAV and just also straight up says the N-word.
Number 4.
Has a fan ever asked you for pictures with him out in public?
Okay. I can't go nowhere. The mall, the movies, nothing. Without a group of 5, 6 females, or it don't matter. Coming up to be, it be cool, but sometimes shit do get a little normal.
This in particular got him into a lot of hot water and controversy, but since that's basically what he thrives on, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it on purpose to get more attention and clout. Also note that the video title used to be Q&A I'm black now instead of back. He's changed it since, and I'm not sure whether it was meant to tie into him being offensive or was actually a spelling mistake, but considering the content of the video, I'm gonna kind of believe it's the former. At the end of this video, he finally addresses everyone's burning questions about the Harvard experiment.
Are you a Harvard experiment? No. So that was a tweet posted from my Twitter, but I never tweeted that myself. I used to have this old manager.
He thought it was cute to really just tweet anything off my Twitter that he knew was stirring attention. He didn't care if it was good or bad publicity. And that's why now I'm independent.
The claims about his manager taking a hold of his account is corroborated by posts he's made on Twitter which further elaborate. It seems that Timmy was in somewhat of a toxic or unhealthy relationship with his manager, with them treating him badly and being very controlling. Whenever Timmy would try to separate himself from his manager, they would take a hold of his accounts and lock him out of them. It seems that one of these arguments came to a boiling point which caused his manager to permanently lock him out of the Timmy Thick account. He posted the Harvard experiment tweet as well as some creepy GPS coordinates to Area 51 and basically shut down the whole account. In the video, Timmy also explained why he'd been gone for so long without telling anyone about what happened with his manager.
Question number 1. Why have I been gone for so long?
I could secure my bag and focus on myself.
So make of that what you will, I guess. A boy's gotta do what a boy's gotta do, and what a boy's gotta do is get his bag, I guess. Anyway, this all seems to fit pretty well. Maybe the reason that the Yeah But Still episode was deleted was because they were talking to Timmy's manager, who Timmy later came out and said was very controlling and harmful towards him. Maybe they deleted it because Timmy asked them to after all the truth came out. Like I said, it all kind of fits, but there's still one last theory to cover. Theory 3, Timmy Thick is a troll. Both Nexpo and Yeah But Still basically came to this conclusion believing that he was simply baiting people for clout and generally just trolling. A lot of evidence points towards this. On the podcast, Brandon mentioned that Timmy sent him a DM asking him to help troll by retweeting a post he made, and a lot of his behavior does seem kinda like he's trying to bait people by being outrageous and easily memeable. Going back to Timmy's 2019 comeback video, it's so strange and the editing is so stark and hilarious that it almost seems intentional. The long pauses.
It's only one Timmy Thick.
The fact that he holds up the wrong number of fingers.
Number 4.
The fact that the video ends like this. Not to mention his use of a slur, AAV, and the old video title. If he was trolling, it would make sense for him to make up a lie about what happened with his old account. When the internet finds out that someone is being cringy or embarrassing on purpose, they tend to lose interest pretty quickly, so maybe he made this cover story so he could continue his charade. There are a bunch of other elements which complicate the situation, like the fact that his Snapchat and Instagram is constantly changing due to being banned, or the fact that many of his accounts have been accused of being fake or made by impersonators. I've done my best to only get info from accounts that I believe are legit, like that have posted proof that it's really him behind the account. However, take everything above with a grain of salt because there's a lot of fake and conflicting information on the topic, so you know, it's just a game theory. Personally, I'm torn between theory 2 and 3. The manager theory lines up super well, and Timmy's old account does seem to be run by someone who's impersonating him, so this could very well be what happened. On the other hand, part of me really does think it's just a super elaborate troll. It's tough to know, and as I said before, these are all just theories. I've done my best to look at all the evidence available, but with a huge number of fake accounts, missing podcasts, and Timmy not exactly being the most reliable source himself, it's hard to know exactly what happened. Regardless, Timmy is still posting today under the name Juju Belair and seems to be kind of thriving and living his life. Personally, I think he absolutely disgraced himself with that comeback video, which is an accurate name because yeah, there's no coming back from that. He said something really gross and overall was just acting in a really disrespectful way, but then again, he's always been a pretty vocal clout chaser, so you know, disappointed but not surprised. Whether you believe that his manager locked him out of his account, he's doing it all for the meme, or that he really is a Harvard experiment, there's no doubt that Timmy Thick made his mark on the mid-2010s internet. Much like his internet celebrity peers at the time, he made this mark by being controversial and utilizing an any publicity is good publicity mindset. Timmy Thick's future is uncertain, and while we don't know exactly what happened in 2017, we do know one thing. Timmy Thick was not a sociological study conducted by Harvard University. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed making it. I find this topic so interesting and no one really brings it up anymore, so I thought it would be kind of interesting. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Hi guys, quick update before I read all the patron names out. I actually have the amazing problem of having too many patron names to read out. It was getting a little bit long to read over like 100 names. So I changed my tiers around a little bit and I now have way fewer names to read. I'd just like to thank all of my patrons, every single one of you. I'm really sorry I can't read out all of your names because I would genuinely love to, but unfortunately it was taking upwards of like 3 minutes to do, so hopefully you'll understand. And yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting me. Let's get on with the names of my Garfield overlords. Thank you to John Leach, Missy Robin, Pom, Xavier Araujo, Bird of Hermes 666, Vampiric Misfit, Icarus, Ryan W, John Charles Davey, Finley, American Guilt, Helen Hamburger Hand, Lady Cerebellum, Eric Lera, Durzo Blint, Marlo, Sheriff Whiskey, The Furby Librarian, Princess Bossy Boots, Red Meth, Astrian Vortex, Jesse Chisholm, Mouse, Kerbicon, Sophie Skidder, Minty Lasagna, X17 Chan, Kendall Pachelic, Tyson, Frank 1982, Aiden McFan, I'm half gyro, half man, the $6.99 man, Joe Bradshaw, Erin, and Arcantilus. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!